Hello, and welcome to Lesson 1 of Mastering Guest Service Excellence, the art of the positive dining interaction. As you can see from this beautiful image, our focus is on creating a warm, inviting, and truly exceptional experience. This is where we begin our journey to becoming masters of hospitality. Today, we're going to move beyond simply providing service and learn how to create memorable experiences. You'll gain the skills to make every single guest feel seen, valued, and cared for. This is the foundation for every positive dining interaction. Our goal, as this welcoming image suggests, is to turn every first-time visitor into a loyal regular who asks for you by name. Here are the specific goals we'll achieve together in this lesson. As you see from the icons, we will define what true guest service excellence means. We'll practice core communication skills, learn how to anticipate guest needs before they ask, and finally, understand the crucial difference between basic service and the memorable hospitality that brings people back. So, what is guest service excellence? It's so much more than just taking orders. It's about creating a positive, memorable feeling that stays with the guest long after they've paid the bill. As the simple equation on the screen shows, good food plus a positive feeling is what equals true guest service excellence. It's our job to deliver on that feeling, which is the key to fostering genuine guest loyalty. It's critical to understand this distinction. On one side, you have transactional service. As the gear icon suggests, it's functional and task-oriented, but it can feel cold or robotic. On the other side, you have guest service excellence. This, represented by the star, is warm, personal, and focuses on the guest's entire experience. Service is what's required. Excellence is what's remembered. This isn't just about being nice. It has a real business impact. As these icons illustrate, guest service excellence is what drives those 5-star online reviews. It builds a powerful reputation for the restaurant. And most importantly, it leads directly to repeat business and guest loyalty. When you deliver excellence, your guests become your most powerful marketing tool. Now, let's open up your communication toolkit. These are the 3 fundamental building blocks for every positive dining interaction. As the graphic shows, our toolkit contains active listening, the use of positive language, and the ability to convey empathy. Mastering these 3 practical skills will elevate every conversation you have with a guest. The first tool is active listening. As this diagram shows, it's not just about words going in your ear. It's about processing those words to achieve true understanding. This means focusing completely on the guest, blocking out distractions, and confirming what you've heard, especially with important details like allergies. It's the single best way to prevent mistakes and show the guest you genuinely care. Let's look at a real-world example. A guest mentions a garlic allergy. A poor response just focuses on the steak. But the excellent response, as you see with the green checkmark, repeats both the order and the critical allergy information. It confirms understanding and provides reassurance. This is active listening in action, and it builds immediate trust. The next tool in our kit is positive language. The words you choose have the power to shape the guest's entire reality. As this word cloud shows, we want to focus on positive, empowering words like absolutely and my pleasure. We must avoid negative, dead-end words like no or can't. The key is to always focus on what you can do for the guest, not on what you can't. Here are 2 classic examples. Instead of saying you're out of something, you positively frame an alternative. Instead of telling a guest where they can't sit, you enthusiastically guide them to a beautiful table you can offer. In both cases, you're delivering the same information, but the positive approach creates a completely different, more hospitable feeling. Our third skill is empathy. It's the ability to understand what a guest is feeling. And crucially, it's shown, not just said. As you can see in these photos, empathy is conveyed through your warm facial expression, your open and welcoming body language, and your sincere eye contact. It's what makes a guest feel truly seen and understood, especially when they're having a problem. Now we get to the heart of guest service excellence. This is where we make the leap from being reactive to being proactive. As the flowchart shows, basic service reacts to guest requests. Excellence, however, anticipates guest needs before they even have to ask. This is the skill that creates those unforgettable, wow, moments that guests talk about for weeks. To be proactive, you have to become an expert observer. You have to learn the art of reading the table. As this photo points out, you're looking for the small, non-verbal cues. The nearly empty water glass, the guest looking around for their server, the dropped napkin. These are all silent requests. Seeing them and acting on them is the secret to proactive hospitality. Let's see this in a quick story. A server notices a guest looks a bit chilly. The reactive server waits for a complaint. But the excellence-focused server, as our storyboard shows, proactively approaches and offers a solution to make the guest more comfortable. They didn't have to be asked. They just noticed and acted. That is a memorable moment. Okay, time to practice. Here is a very common scenario, which you can see in the speech bubble. A guest asks how much longer they have to wait for their food. I want you to take a moment and think about how you would respond using positive language and empathy. How can you make them feel heard and reassured, even with a delay? Fantastic. Let's look at a couple of model responses. As you can see in the table, both options start with empathy. I can see you've been waiting. They apologize and then immediately propose an action. Option 2 even includes a proactive offer of a drink refill. Both turn a moment of friction into an opportunity to show you care. Now let's practice our observation skills. I want you to be a detective. On the next slide, you're going to see a photo of a family at their table. Look very closely and identify at least 2 potential guest needs, 2 opportunities for you to be proactive. Think about what you would do. Okay, take a close look at this scene. What do you see? What needs are not being met? What proactive steps could you take to create a positive dining interaction for this family? Let's debrief. As the image showed, there was a spilled drink, a dropped fork, and a parent trying to get your attention. The proactive response is to handle all of these things without being asked. You bring a cloth for the spill, a clean fork for the child, and you approach the parent with a warm smile. You've just solved 3 problems they didn't even have to voice. So how does this all lead to guest loyalty? When you create a positive dining interaction using these skills, it leads to a memorable experience for the guest. That experience builds their trust in our service. And that trust is what ultimately creates lasting, genuine guest loyalty. Every step is connected. Ultimately, guest service excellence is an attitude. It's a mindset that comes from within. It's about taking ownership of the guest's experience, being curious about how you can make their day better, and acting as a true host, as if you were welcoming them into your own home. It's who you are, not just what you do. Let's quickly review our key takeaways from this lesson. As our content shows, we've learned that excellence is about creating a positive feeling. We know that a positive dining interaction is built on our core communication skills. We've seen that anticipating needs is the secret to exceeding expectations, and that this proactive approach is the most direct path to building guest loyalty. To help you apply what you've learned, here is your final task for this lesson. This is a moment for reflection. In 2 or 3 sentences, I want you to think about and describe one specific, proactive action you can take during your very next shift to anticipate a guest's needs. Think of a real action you can commit to. And with that, you've done it. Congratulations! You now have the complete foundation, the compass, the toolkit, the playbook, and the action plan to master guest service excellence, the art of the positive dining interaction. On behalf of all of us at LearnYa Skills, thank you for your hard work. We're excited to see what you build. For more resources, visit us at www.learnyaskills.com.